Hi everybody, I'm Dominic from SBDIY.com. In this video, I'm going to show you two things. I'm going to show you how to take sheetrock down where we want to take this sheetrock off this wall and not this wall without damaging it. And then we're also going to show you how to put it up. You see, we used to have a window here and we framed it all up because it's a family room and there's just not enough wall space. Anyway, let me give you a close-up. What we need to do on the corners on the sheetrock, when you do the taping, you have tape that goes in the corner. If we just remove this sheetrock, well, it's all connected. It's all taped together, so it's going to rip the paper on this one and really screw things up, and that we don't want to do. So let me give you a close-up of what we're going to do. Okay. All right, I'm going to do with the utility knife, and a sharp knife is always good. We're going to put it right in the corner, and we're going to cut the tape, just like that. So when we go to pull the sheetrock off, it's not going to affect this, which you'll clearly see once we do it. And we're going to go ahead and cut the tape all the way around on all three sides, the two sides and the top. And then we'll start making some holes and having some fun. Okay, we went around and cut all our tape on the edges and on the top. Now we can get the sheetrock and basically pull it off. The bigger the better, but whatever, get ready to make a mess. In our case, since we had the window here, I'm going to just use the edge, grab hold of the sheetrock and give it a nice yank, like that, and just keep going and pulling, like that. Basically, just keep going like a little Energizer bunny. Now, let me show you this corner here. Come over here and take a look at this. You see I got this sheetrock a little on the loose side now, I'm ready to pull. But watch how clean it's going to break from here because we cut those. See that? Look at that. Nice and clean, and this sheetrock didn't get affected whatsoever. Now after you're done pulling all the sheetrock off, you're going to notice you have a lot of screws and nails. So you want to make sure you get all those nails and screws before you go ahead and put the new sheetrock up. Okay, we got our whole wall all cleaned up, floors cleaned, ready for the new sheetrock installation. And we did, I measured from left to right because we're going to be laying the sheetrock horizontally, so it's going to go from left to right. I measured a little bit more than 152 inches, so I'm actually going to go about 152 inches right there, because we don't want it too tight. Remember, we're going to be hitting against this sheetrock and the other wall there, so if it's too tight, it's just not going to go in. You're going to break the sheetrock, get really pissed off. All right, you got to use a T-square. It's for sheetrock. Obviously, a little funky looking, works out good. Mark it, 152 inches. Now I got it marked. I'm going to hold it with my one hand on top, and I'm actually going to put my toes right on the bottom there, just like that. And again, the very sharp knife, and you don't have to, but it's best to always cut the sheetrock from the face, meaning the part of the sheetrock that's going to be coming out. And just very carefully make just a gentle cut. You're really only cutting the paper at this point, so you don't have to try to cut. Oops, went off a little bit there. You have to just cut the paper, and we're going to snap it. Maybe go over one more time for good measure. Okay. Now, the sheetrock is still in one piece. All we have is just a cut line as far as the paper goes. Now we get the sheetrock and get behind it like this. Pretty big piece, 14 feet long actually. And just pick it up a little bit and just snap it like you would like spaghetti or something. Now, you're like that. Now the sheetrock itself is cut, so you can come over here, Mike, to get a close up here. Now you see, with the knife, I didn't cut the actual sheetrock. I only cut the paper, and we snapped it. It's a nice, clean cut. Now on the inside, we're still connected by the paper of the back side. And I'm just going to cut it real fast, and then our piece will be two pieces. Just like that, okay? But now, here's the important part. If you look here, now this is actually a pretty good, clean cut. Not always do you get a clean cut, especially when you use a knife that's not so sharp. Now you can get one of these in any of the home stores, tool supply, whatever it may be. it's a sheetrock rasp, which is great. What you do, you're gonna rub it on the edge. Just like that, real fast, and it cleans it up. So if you have any like bumps and things like that, which happen all the time, it's gonna make a nice clean. So when we go against the existing sheetrock, it's gonna make a nice tighter fit, as long as our measurement's good. And so when you go to tape it, it's gonna make it a lot easier. So let me get this sheetrock up over there. We'll show you how we install it. Okay, we got our sheetrock in place, but obviously it's on the floor. We're gonna have to lift it up there. Again, I said this piece is pretty big. It's heavy, so it's not gonna be super easy. It's always great to have 2 people. More if you can, but unfortunately our third person is holding the video camera. What we're using is a sheetrock hammer. Look a little funky to you? The important part is the part where you're gonna hit the nail. It's kind of rounded, leaves a little dimple in there. Great for the sheetrock nails, and that's a sheetrock nail. If you look at that, it's all ribbed on that. Once that nail goes into the studs, I tell you, it's really hard to pull out, and these are what you wanna use in conjunction with screws. But to hold that sheetrock up and so big and heavy, and then try to put a single screw in there and move on, it's difficult. So anyway, let me get Brian here. Brian's never put sheetrock in before. So I'm actually gonna have to hold this with one hand because my tool belt, I don't know. All right, Brian, you ready? Yep. Brian, what you're gonna do, you're gonna grab it from the bottom. You're gonna try to keep a hand up so it doesn't flip back on you. All right? Ready? Yep. You gotta go even, okay? Go a little bit harder, Brian. There you go. Okay. Now hold it good. All right. I put a couple nails in it to help hold this up. Make sure everything's good. Hang on, I'll come over here in a second. Make sure it's up nice and tight. And okay, you can look over it. Thanks. Okay, well, I want to put a couple nails up. The sheetrock's just holding it up there by a prayer right now. We got our studs, okay? Now the studs on the bottom are going to be easy to find because they're right there. But we're the ones on top. Well, I didn't feel like taking the time and marking them from the top, which you can. I like to use the T-square because then you're 100%. Just line that up in the center of the stud with a pencil. Make a few marks, like that. And then you can't miss where the nails are. When you nail sheetrock, you always want to put one on the bottom, one on the top, and then 2 in the middle. Say like that, okay? Evenly spaced. Unless it was a heavy sheetrock that was on the ceiling, then you can do 3 nails in the middle, which is called 3 nail. Now we're going to go ahead and finish up the rest of it. But basically, that's how you hang sheetrock. We have all nice tight corners, so when the taper comes to tape it, with the rest of this house that's being done, it's going to come out really nice and look good. And not to mention, the nicer that sheetrock is installed, the cheaper the taper is going to be, and the nicer the job's going to be. Anyway, all right, one thing we have to do, we have our outlets. And actually, we have 1 for coax and 3 for power. Great thing to do is to remove the outlet. Make sure you turn the power off, of course. I'm going to show you how to locate these and then cut them out really nice, simple, professional. But what we want to do is measure, and you can either go from the floor or the bottom of the sheetrock. I go to the bottom of the sheetrock. I'm going to do the center of that box is 34 inches, okay? And I'm going to make a line and write 34 inches. And I know they're all the same, but you measure each one if you like to. But I make that mark right on the side of the stud that the box is located on, okay? Right here, I'm going to do the same. So I have it, and on this one here, I'm going to put a D. I know it's a double wide. So when I'm cutting it, I don't feel like I'm doing something wrong because it's bigger. And of course, on that one there. we're going to use a special tool. It's called a roto zip or cutout tool, whatever you want to call it. People call it a million different things. Show that to you in a minute. Now we're going to get the sheetrock, bring it in, and start nailing the top of the sheetrock, and we're going to lift it up, keep it nice and tight. We're not going to start nailing down low where the boxes are, because the boxes are actually raised off the stud about a ½ inch, the thickness of the sheetrock. If we start nailing too close, so it's going to be hollow from the front of the sheetrock to the stud. It's going to have a hollow spot in there, and you end up breaking the sheetrock and not being too happy with it, okay? So let me get going on this and I'll show you how to do it. Okay, our sheetrock is just hanging here. We have our mark, and we're going to go down to what we said, 34, right? 34 was the center of our box. So our box should actually be, you know, something like that. And we got our nail on the right side of our mark, so we know our stud is coming right down here. So our box is on this side. But that 34, that's the trick. That's the magic number. So let me get the tool. Actually, it's right here. It's just not plugged in yet. If you look at it, it's a little trimmer. The roto zip. It's actually a brand name, but that's what most people call them. They have a little. It looks like a drill bit, but it's actually not, and it's made for drywall. What we're going to do, and it's going to get pretty loud and dusty as all hell when I turn it on. What I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to punch a hole right in the center here, right where I believe is the center of it. And I'm going to go gently, and you don't want to go too far in. I don't have any guard on this. I don't particularly care for them. I don't want to go too far, because remember, there's wires inside that box, and these can cut the wires and mark them all up. So I'm going to go in probably about 1.5 inches or so, and I did push those wires as far back as I can get them. I'm going to go and I'm going to feel the edge of the box, because the sheetrock's going to cut nice and easy. But once I get to that plastic box, I'm going to feel some resistance. And I'm going to pull it back out and then go to the outside of it. Once I know I'm on the outside of it for sure, then I'm going to go around and knowing I'm waiting for it to jump to the right side. So I got a little bit of pressure to the right as I'm doing that. Go down to the bottom and so forth. And you'll see, it should make a pretty good clean hole. So let me plug this puppy in and we'll see where we're at. Now look at that, nice and clean. Our wires are not touched, hopefully. Hopefully they're not live either, otherwise we're gonna have a problem. Just gonna go out and examine the wires real quick to show you. Look at that, we're all good. Nice clean hole, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this to the rest of them now. Anyway, after I do that, I'm gonna nail the sheetrock just like I showed you for the top piece, pulling these nails. And our wall is ready for the tapers, and once of course the tapers are done, then we can paint it, and then after it's painted, then I get to hang this big ass nice TV on it. Anyway, I hope you learned something. I'm Dominic from AskMeDIY.com. Thanks for watching.